Well, neighbors, it's probably about 8:30 by now. Something on my phone. It's nice. Today it's only supposed to be like a high of 85. It's 70, I don't know, between 70 and 75 right now. And not a small breeze. We went into town last night. Every, 3 or 4 weeks, one of the girls that has a booth at the antique store in town with us, she has convinced the owners to be able to let her have a set of keys and come in on Sundays when they're on, on a couple Sundays when they're not open. And that way we can kind of all move our booths around while there aren't any people there. And especially, her booth has a lot of glass in it. And so, especially for her, that's a lot nicer than trying to bring, boxes of glass in. The alleyway is not very wide either. And so that kind of detours, moving stuff in and out with people there. We just don't want to be in the way. Anyway, we are moving. We have a booth upstairs right now. And we love it. But there's a lot of people that don't realize there's an upstairs and that don't or can't climb all of those stairs. So this month, there's an opening downstairs. There's actually 2 openings downstairs. And so 2 of us from upstairs are moving downstairs. And so we were both there on Sunday. And with my crew, my husband and the 2 youngest were there with me. And they pretty much told me, you just stay downstairs and rearrange stuff and we'll just bring it to you. So it wasn't a ton of trips, probably, 6 or 8 upstairs and down to grab everything. 3 tables, and then we have made a pegboard corner kind of wall that stands up, and we can hang a bunch of our decals and some signs. I'm trying to think of what else we got hung up there. We have, I don't have any of those. We make leather patches as well with the Velcro on the back. So if you have a lot of the backpacks or the tactical gear and stuff like that is made with loop Velcro on it. And so ours have the hook on the back of them. And so you can kind of collect patches. And every time we go to SRF, we try to have a new saying or 2. We also have ones that will tell you your blood type. So if you need to put that on the front of your medical backpack and stuff like that, then you can do that. And that way, I don't know, it's probably something I should work on, some kind of system. And I think it can be stored in iPhones on the health app, but there really should be a better way to communicate with people, communicate with paramedics, the medications you're taking, or blood type and stuff like that. But I also fully understand that's a bunch of privacy stuff, so I digress. I have a child. My daughter got engaged. I think I said that. So we're working on that. Whew. That one's going to be a rough one. I know that they don't want a big wedding. Thank goodness, because there are no funds for a big wedding. We're not big wedding people. I mean, even our wedding was fairly cheap, but I also thank my parents because they paid for a lot of it. But because of the situation that we're in, the limbo, the no house, and not enough insurance on the house, stuff like that, we're getting closer to moving. I want to make sure I didn't have another car. We're getting closer to moving, but it's still slow going. And she does not have a big savings. She doesn't make very much. She's working on that too. So dog training, locally will start. Ooh, I think they're getting the paperwork kind of worked out. So I'm not sure if they're going to start it Saturday or if they're going to wait and start it next Saturday. But they're definitely, they want a little bit of a contract ready. They want it, a form to fill out ready so that if you're interested in dog training classes, you can fill out this little form that just says your name of the animal and what you want worked on with them. Morning. It's nice outside. I know, like, where did this come from?
Call it tomorrow.
I wish I could do that because that would be awesome.
I think tomorrow morning's supposed to be kind of nice.
Okay, good. Yeah, definitely not a morning person, so.
I get that.
Yeah.
How about the lovebirds, huh?
Do what?
How about the lovebirds, huh?
The mother and sister to my daughter's fiance. They live just down the hill. Actually, when we moved here, we bought their house because they were gifted a house down around the corner. It's a dead-end road down around the corner from her grandma. So we've been neighbors for 10 years. Again, like, we've known them forever. So just trying to figure out how that's all going to work. You know, getting the place, figuring she's going to be really good at, I'm not sure on here the first time, she's going to be really good at, you know, getting everything figured out. That's not a problem, but it's, you know, paying for everything that we're going to have to figure out how that works. She doesn't get paid a lot where she works, which is sad because I think she probably does the most amount of work there, which is typical of my children and of myself because that's what we do. Just because we get paid $14 an hour doesn't mean we only give $14 an hour work. And that's one thing about Kroger that just, and I'm not sure if it's unions in general or just that one, but that's one thing that just blows my mind as a corporation, how you think it's okay to pay the 17-year-old who legally cannot do several of the chores there, who stands around on his phone. I had one girl, I kid you not, she was checking out the other day. She was checking people, and the person, she had run through all of their groceries, but they had not paid yet. They were standing at the little card reader, swiping their card. She picked up her phone and started texting. I was like, dude, are you serious? You're in the middle of a transaction. What the hell? And we get paid the same. So that's kind of one discouraging thing for a lot of people is just the fact that you don't get paid your skill level or what you're worth at a lot of these big corporate places. Obviously, you can definitely find ones where you do. Kroger is just not one of them. So I highly suggest not working there. My local Kroger is great. I mean, the people are awesome, but that's also, I mean, I talked to the manager and she's like, what do I have to do to get you to stay? I said, pay me more. You know, I just can't do it. So trying to figure out how we can make some extra dollars coming up so that she can, and part of the problem is she only works part-time because that's all the hours they will give her. The owner wants to make sure that they don't go over 40 hours a week. So normally you would schedule somebody like at 35, and no, she works, I think it's 6 to 12, 4 days a week. I'm not sure how much she's off Wednesdays and Sundays. So she might, I'm not sure if she works, I think about every Saturday. And it's probably 6 to noon as well. But anyway, so that is the latest and greatest. Hopefully by moving our booth downstairs, we'll get some more sales. if not, we'll have to pull stuff out of there and then maybe just put energy into, I have a TikTok account. I've just never, I don't even think I finished fully setting it up. TikTok just kind of, I don't know. It's not what I would go watch. Taylor's really good at it. She's got her business page going. I mean, she's good at creating those videos. She also has great content with her dogs, whereas I just make things. Anyway, and I don't typically have somebody to film me. So we did buy a little light stand. We might have to try to do some more of that stuff. The problem right now, the hiccup, is getting all of the stuff that I have done uploaded, because during the day I'm not, our internet is almost like a hotspot, and so I need to figure out how to take it over there. I wanted to get Starlink, because that way we can have it here and then we can have it over at the next place. But it's expensive. So I have to figure out how we can go about that. You know, it's kind of one of those things where like it's on the list of stuff that we need. But I might see about taking the internet over to the shed. My shed gets almost zero signal. And then see if I can't start working on some uploading from there. I hate to use the internet for that. We also are in, like, you know, 2003, where we have to only have so many gigabytes, and it has to last the whole month. What else is new? In moving, we don't have exact dates. Here what happens is, for like the septic and the well, you kind of get put on a list, and then as soon as, you know, they can come to you, say they have one over in the next town but it has rained over there recently, they can't go there right away. So they might call us and say, hey, you know, hey, we can come tomorrow, and then it'll be then. But they said it should be the week after July 4th. So July 4th, I think, is Thursday. So it should be right after that. We're still trying to decide where the well goes. Part of the trouble is the way I have my house designed. It's just a rectangle. The garage doors are going to be in the end of the rectangle. Like, so you're going to kind of pull up to the house and you have to go over to the side and come in the end of it, which makes it, it's going to make it be like a little bit wider. And then on the side with the driveway, we want to be able to, I mean, you're going to have cars there, but we want to be able to, sorry, I heard pigs. I want to make sure the pigs weren't out. We want to be able to kind of, you know, from there go to the backyard and have that whole area be kind of a place where we play, or we have a fire out back, or that sort of thing. In doing so, that's either going to put the well too far away off in the corner, or it has to be on the other side of the house, which is kind of where we would like it, but we also have to make sure that it is far enough away from the septic system, because it has to be, I feel like 250 feet is what's stuck in my head. So it has to be so far away from the septic system with good measure. And then house placement, we will work on that. I've got a message into the builder that maybe he can come out and kind of be like, yeah, I think you should put your house here. As of right now, let's see, our current house sits east to west. Our new house will sit also east to west, unless somebody tells us that it shouldn't. And that will get a fair amount of sun. And then we have a lot of plans on opening. There's a scrubby wooded area. It's kind of a lot like this, where it's just thick and dense and you can't walk through it. And we'll end up running the pigs through it a little bit, see if we can't get a lot of that cleared out. And then anything that's big and old, I don't know if I have any examples. well, I guess those trees are producing. I'm not sure. These two trees here, this one is growing up and out. I'm not sure that this one is. So just stuff like that. This isn't our place, that was an example. But at our place that we did walk through, and you could definitely see there was a bunch of trees that had just died. They need to get taken down, and we have a lot of work to do to store wood for the winter. I don't know if we will be able to get a shell done yet this fall so that we could at least be inside a house, or if we are gonna have to wait and start in the spring. But either way, we're gonna need some wood for either this winter or next. That's on the list. And then the other decision that we have to make is, since we're in the camper right now, we have to figure out where we want to build a pad, whether it's just rock or whether it's a concrete pad, which we may later turn into like a shed pad or something. But we have to figure out where that is going to go, because it has to be close enough to the water, yet it can't be over the septic system, and it can't be in the way of the builders, which again, I'm quite afraid of it having to go over on the other side of where the house is going to be. We might be able to clear out enough and kind of tuck it up in the trees. Then if we do that, see, the door comes out the right side as it goes. We just have to be able to make sure that we can hook it up once the house is there and pull it out, because I would hate to, put it somewhere and get it stuck, because that would be our luck. We would build it into a corner and be like, well, we're screwed now. The $10,000 camper's got to stay. On top of that, they're trying to figure out, a nice place to live. There's some apartments in town that aren't awful, but there's one that's almost like a little, I'm going to say condos, and that's not what I mean, but kind of where it's a bunch of apartments. And I know they've got a basketball court. I don't think they have a pool, and they probably have a little meeting area, exercisey area, that sort of thing. So that's, and washer and dryer probably in this. Still have to take your clothes there, but better than not having access to any of the, like us still having to drive everything into town. Because I'm not gonna lie, some of these wash machine areas are a little sketchy. Inevitably, one of my children, conveniently, usually the one that, it was when he was 16, but he's 17 now, conveniently, he usually gets asked if he has a cigarette somebody can bum. Yeah, no, we don't. First of all, no smoking. Second of all, he's a teenage child. I'm trying to think of what else. It wouldn't be bad. I still maintain my stance that they should build a little house kind of on our place. We're a little more country than he's used to, so we would do like composting toilet system. It would still flush and everything, but it goes out to like a warm composting bin. She's like, he's gonna freak out, and I went, you'll never know the difference. Like, you really, everything inside is gonna run just fine. The one thing that we have to figure out is how to get them plumbed with water, and I think a lot of that will be like water collection. Although, if they, once we can raise the $5,000 or $6,000, I think it's about $6,000, then they can get a well on that side anyway, and that'll be easy. We were going to build an orchard kind of behind their place, but in looking at it a little bit more today, one, we're going to have to cut back some trees to open up that space. It's really, because nobody's been over there in a year, it's kind of really crowded in. So we need to do that, but there's not going to be enough room behind that little space over there. We will just have to put the orchard elsewhere, which is fine by me. We can open stuff up to the east and do it so that they'll have like a nice little place. That's it. Anyway, and then they can pay just a little bit in rent. But they wouldn't be wasting it, and it wouldn't be as much. And then their money can be saved for a down payment on a house for later. And then in a few years when they have children, I've already started collecting all the fun facts that I'm going to teach the kids.